Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of AI-powered tools, specifically focusing on GitHub Copilot and how it's revolutionizing the way developers write code. So, have you ever found yourself staring blankly at your screen, unsure of what to write next? Well, GitHub Copilot steps in like a trusty sidekick, suggesting code and even entire functions right as you're typing. Imagine writing a line of code, and then this AI jumps in, offering a helpful suggestion. It's like having a seasoned mentor looking over your shoulder. Now let's unpack how it actually works. You see, GitHub Copilot uses machine learning to understand and predict what you might want to code next, based on the context of what you're creating. It basically learned from a vast amount of data, which includes public code repositories, to recognize patterns in coding. Fun fact, the model that powers Copilot was trained on billions of lines of code. Can you imagine the sheer volume of coding knowledge it has at its disposal? All right, let's take a moment to think about the implications of this technology. For many developers, especially beginners, having a tool like Copilot can significantly lower the barrier to entry in coding. It's like a cheat sheet that provides you with suggestions, allowing you to focus on the creative aspects of programming rather than just the syntax. Speaking of creativity, how about when developers stumble upon new solutions they never thought of? It's like brainstorming with a machine that has endless ideas. But here's a thought-provoking question for you. Does reliance on AI tools like Copilot lead to an overdependence on technology? Will we lose some of the fundamental problem-solving skills that coding requires? I mean, not to get all philosophical, but it's worth considering how tools shape our learning processes. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about security. Now, as great as Copilot is, it also raises questions about code security and the quality of suggestions. Some developers have raised concerns about how it might inadvertently suggest insecure code practices or even introduce vulnerabilities. So, this conversation shouldn't only focus on AI's benefits, but also on how we need to be vigilant as we integrate these tools into our workflows. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a step back and reflect. While AI technologies like GitHub Copilot can be incredibly resourceful, the best coding practices still come from a solid understanding of the craft. It's all about balance, leveraging tools to enhance our skills without losing the essence of what makes us developers in the first place. So, to sum it up, while Copilot is an exciting development in the world of coding, using it wisely and understanding its limitations will ensure we become better programmers rather than just relying on a cool tool. Remember, it's not just about writing code, it's about solving problems and bringing ideas to life. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you found our discussion on GitHub Copilot insightful. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how AI is changing the coding landscape. Until next time, keep coding and keep creating.